Hello everybody, welcome back to another video.
Some assistance, please.
So, this is a kind of a discussion video. Um, let's start off with the topic. 2020.
Shields, Doctor.
Oh, what a weird and wonderful year you've been. I remember when it all started to back off. 31st of December 2019. If you would have told me this time last year that we would have gone through 2 lockdowns, a global pandemic, and quite possibly the most boringest time of our lives throughout a great deal, like eight whole months worth, I would probably have called you a whole lot of things. Crazy, stupid, and that would never happen. But after a year like this year, and through some of the struggles that I've gone through, it's been hard. So let's start off. Way back into February. February this year, I started to struggle with college, as I was both balancing college life alongside my work life. I had recently been promoted from my Saturday job to my 20-hour contract, loving every second of where I was working, loving my colleagues, and all the folks that I got to meet.
Spy. Yeah, there's a
So
spy
much
over
so
there.
that I kind of let my work take priority over my college life,
We got a spy.
kind of slipping to a point.
Spy.
Skip forward to start of the first lockdown. Just before the first lockdown, well, just after the first lockdown was announced, I asked my course tutor if I was to be allowed some extra time to complete an assignment, as my work was requiring me in for my full 20 hours throughout the entirety of the week, as days were getting extremely busy with the rush of parents trying to get in to buy toys for their kids. At which point, she refused
Yes. The car
to even give me any time to try and do the extended time to do the assignment. To which point, I went, okay, why not? A lot of words were said afterwards, some of which I can't remember because I tend to block out bad memories quite quickly. Then came the point where we were locked down. Through that entire 6 months, or what's it, six weeks, however long the first lockdown was, I refused to leave the house. I was beginning to become unsocial. I was closing myself off from the world. And then when lockdown ended, I was told I can go back to work, which I was ecstatic for. I wanted to go back. I was really excited for. One of the main things that stuck with me, that was my worry throughout the entirety of that time, was what happens if I do catch this virus. Because of how I'm built, I don't want to bring harm to other people in any way, shape or form. Now you introduce this virus, this
We've got to stop that
invisible
bomb.
killer,
I'm dying here.
or has been shown to be an invisible killer,
Little help. Medic.
and you have someone like me who gets very, very scared, very worried, very anxious. Well, that was me for the next couple of months. To which point my managerial team within my store started to realise that there was something horribly wrong with me. Like, I was not in the greatest of health. Which is pretty much when they sat me down to basically talk about it. Well, more or less. Then August happened. I will remember this day for pretty much the rest of my life. It was August 15th. Just under a week before just over a week before my birthday. My 19th birthday. I get the news I had been scared of for a while. The news was that I've just lost my nana, or my mum's mum, to a terminal health condition. I think it was dementia. Don't quote me to that. At which point, my self-esteem and everything else crashed through the floor. I couldn't bring myself to bear that she was gone, as she was pretty much one of the main people who I went to talk to if I needed help. I would either phone up or see if I could meet up with her in order to say, look, this has happened, I need to talk to someone about it. Again, because of how I'm built, I immediately started to bottle things up. And it got worse and worse. And I really don't recommend for people to bottle up things, because it will get to a point where you just crash. And by crash, I mean your emotions will fall through the floor.
Morning, darling.
And you will break down. Which is unfortunately what I did. Again,
Good morning.
at that point, my assistant manager took me to one side and said, look, you're not right. What's going on? Can you please talk to me? Otherwise, we're not going to sort something out. Which I was fine in doing, which we then sorted out things. In which I explained that I was still sad over the fact of the passing of my family member. I was still incredibly worried about if I was to pass on this virus. And I'm scared. Still am today. So, then moves on to a slightly happier time, which was my birthday. In which my wonderful friend, IRL, people may know him as Rustic Matter, but he gifted me his old computer, which he knew that I'd been looking for a computer for my own for a while, not having the funds normally to pay an upwards of $1,000 for a brand new PC, not knowing what specs to look for because I don't know PCs. And he straight up asks me, hey, I'm going to be selling my old computer, would you like it? I immediately jumped at the idea. I wanted it. I'm like, yeah, go, please, yeah, absolutely. So, that happened. Then, just a little bit of a dull point where nothing really happened. Working as normal. Still had the worries in the back of my mind about COVID. And all that. I think then came the time where then came second lockdown, in which I was again, slightly worried, bored out of my mind because I'm not in the shop. I'm not on the shop floor. Or was we? I can't remember. My memory's not 100%. It's been better. I just lockdowns have been extremely excruciating. Do you think how boring it is for you? For you as a person. So, because I don't know you guys personally. I'm going to say the average person. Imagine it times 10, maybe even times 20 for a person like myself who suffers with autism. Suffers. It's not really a suffering. Some of us class it as a hell of a strength, and so do I.
Hi, handsome.
So, with autism, yeah, it sucks being locked away, not being able to do things that you want to do, not being able to plan ahead for yourself on what you're going to be able to do, like having the knowledge that you'll be at work tomorrow. It hurts. It made me feel insecure. Then came Thursday 17th of December, where I woke up on my day off with COVID symptoms. Don't worry, I'm fine. No COVID. No, it wasn't COVID. Got the tests. Got a test. Test came back pretty much negative. Basically, wasn't COVID. My only guess is that it had been fatigue, because I've basically been working nothing but 32-hour weeks for the past 4 or 5 weeks, because we're up to Christmas. Again, coupled with the worries that I may spread the disease, or I may have, or that. Waking up with COVID symptoms on that one Thursday scared me. It terrified me. I immediately went and thought, oh, if I've got this, who have I passed it to? Because I speak, on average, I can put through the till, 500 quid? 500, 700 quid a day. Maybe more. Think of how many people those are. How many of those people are children. And how many of those are the elderly. It petrified me. In fact, there were the next thing I did afterwards is I immediately ordered myself a test to be delivered to the house, in which I tried to then take it, and then realised I couldn't take the COVID test myself, as I'm guessing it's a perk of having autism, is my gag reflex is basically multiplied by 11, where to the point where the swab that we were using to try and swab the back of my throat, it barely made it into my mouth before I started gagging. At which point we all went, no, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. At which point I panicked. The thoughts running through my mind were, I'm not going to be able to be cleared to go back to work. I'm going to feel so guilty. Why can't I do this? I want to get this done so I can be cleared. I really don't want to be in home because I can't do anything. It, as I said, it scared me. Just because of I had no idea what I was going to do. Then came Sunday the 20th, where I then went to a track and test centre in Winchester. In which point we explained what was the problem with me taking the test beforehand, and they explained that I could probably there was a chance that I could take the test with just doing the nasal swab, which happened. I got the results back the next day, 21st. Came back all negative, in which there was an eruption of cheers throughout my entire house. And then it echoed to the store after I phoned my assistant manager, letting them know that I was in the clear. And that brings me to the 22nd, which is today, where I'm back at work. I'm happy that I'm back at work because it means I'm doing things. But then comes the thoughts. What if this isn't the last lockdown we're going to face? Is there another one on the way with what's happening with London and the southeast? Because of where I live at the moment, it sits on the border of the tier 4 and the normal tiers, literally. How long is it going to be until we all get put down into another lockdown, where I then can't get back to work again, where I'm going to be stuck at home, twiddling my thumbs, going, what do I do today? There's nothing for me to do. The fact of unknowing, the worry that I've survived this wave of not having COVID, but what happens if I do catch it in the future? That's my new worry. I haven't got it now, but as new strains keep evolving, keep changing, how long is it going to be until we're back into another lockdown? Or B, I'm back into isolation. As I mentioned at the start of this video, 2020 has been an interesting year, to say the least. Filled with loss, challenges, worry, and everything. But as the year comes to a close, I'm looking to make do with the past demons. This year's been an utter failure of a year, but what can I get out of it? The answer to that is friendship. It might sound cliche, mainly with my past in being brony, and with me being a furry currently, but friendship. Throughout this year, I've had basically most of my friends by my side, whether it be in real life, over the phone, or just generally chatting on Discord. They've been there for me, and me likewise for them. So I guess this last part of this video is sort of thank you to those who did help. For those who helped me get through this year. Through the times where I was struggling, through the pain I felt when I lost my family member. Thank you guys. You mean everything. I couldn't have done it without you. That goes especially for my group of friends in real life, my colleagues as well, because as I said, you guys are amazing. You've helped me quite a lot. Couldn't have gone through it without you guys. I want to thank basically Nunny and all of that lot on Discord, because even though you guys are all dotted around the UK, US, and various parts of the world, you guys are all been there for me. Staying up ridiculously late in terms of the guys from across the sea, to none at all. Thank you. I think this last bit I'm going to dedicate to my head moderator. Most of you guys know him as Bun Bun or Nathan, but this is also going to be a part where I get to show off a bit of the artwork they've done for me. Massive thank you to Bun Bun for all that. It's been great. And here you go.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day. This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I